Alright, I don't know if you know the lyrics to this song or not, but if you do, I need to hear you singing all about your nails, your hair, your hips and heels. Come on, nails, hair, hips, heels, ass, fat, lips, real, purse, pool, big bills, bitch. I'm a big deal. Legs, face, eyes, slim, waist, thin, thighs, you, wish, new home, who, this, please, let's get it back, clack, show me a star, let me pop that tongue. This fuck club is my runway run. She got 5, 4, 3, 2, I'm a 1. Girl, what did that girl just say, girl? I don't dance, I work. I don't play, I slay. I don't walk, I strut, and then sashay. But I don't work for free. That's lucky. So make it rain on me, and I'ma let you see. My nails, hair, hips, heels, nails, hair, hips, heels, nails, hair, hips, heels, nails, hair, hips, heels. Put your hands together. I see your shirt. Okay, so I know what time it is. Come on, everybody on the floor. Everybody on the floor. I want you to stretch out those arms, stretch out those legs, stretch out that wrist, stretch out that weed. I just want to see you dance. What I want to see you work. Come on, drop for me, 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 pop 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 for me. Now pose for me, pose for me, pose for me, pose for me. I see you posing, yes. You can move on and pose. Now blink for these, yes. Blink for these, yes. Blink for these, yes. Blink for these, yes. Let's see that music. Twirl me, twirl me, twirl me, twirl me. I see you twirl me, I see you twirl me. You can twirl, say girl me, 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 girl me. Now snap for me, snap for me, snap, snap for me, snap for me, snap, snap for me, snap for me, snap, snap for me, snap for me, snap. Now clap for me, clap for me, clap, clap for me, clap for me, clap, clap for me, clap for me, clap, clap for me, clap for me, clap. You trade for me, trade for me, trade for me, trade, yes, trade. Come on up here, yes, I see you. Trade for me, trade. No, shade for me, shade for me, shade, shade for me, shade for me, shade, shade for me, shade, shade for me, shade for me. Come on, y'all, bang for me, 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 bang. Shabam for me, 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 shabam. Musical calm, that's all.
Musical pod, give it up for the legendary Todrick. Yes. We love you, Todrick. We do. We love you, Todrick. Make some noise for Todrick Hall, guys. Now, I mean, this man needs no introduction. From early this icon started his career on Broadway in shows like The Color Purple, Memphis, and Kinky Boots. He has over 1 billion YouTube views, and of course, guest choreographed and judged on RuPaul's Drag Race. And did I mention the 4 studio albums? Come on, Todrick. First things first, Todrick, welcome to the UK. Thank you, yes. Thank you for choosing our very, very small island. But we want to know, how has the transition been from LA to the UK?
Well, I've been in the UK before. I did Chicago on the West End, and I was a judge on The Greatest Dancer on BBC.
Yes, of course.
So I've been here a few times, but this is the longest time I've been here. I've been here since April. And I'm absolutely loving it. Everybody is just so kind. They're so much more polite than people in America. So I don't even know how I'm gonna readjust to Americans being so pushy and outspoken, because everyone's like, sorry. And I'm like, you don't need to apologize. You've done nothing wrong. Why are you apologizing? But I just think that's the British way.
It is the British way, and I'm glad you put it out, because we can be moody too. If you go on the tube at 6 or 7 a.m., you know they're normally tube commuters. we could be moody too. So.
It feels moody, but to me, everyone sounds like Julie Andrews. So even when they're rude, I'm still like, I kind of love it.
Very true. All right. Well, I want to go back to the start, right? Take me back to Plainview, Texas, where you were born. What inspired little Todrick, and exactly when did you catch the performing bug?
Well, I was about 6 or 7 years old, and I got moved to a new school, and a lady named Pat Carkle, who I think in every bio and every playbill from every show I've ever done, found me in a library, and some of my teachers had said, this kid's a little different. She tested me for the Gifted and Talented program, put me in the program, and they took us to go see the Nutcracker. And I was watching the Nutcracker Ballet with maybe 20 or 30 other kids, but I fell in love not just with the show, but how the fly system worked, how the fog machines worked, the smell of the concession stands, the orchestra warming up, and at that moment I was bitten by the bug. There was no turning back. I just knew that I was a theater kid for life.
I also feel like the sense of community in the theatre and how welcoming it is as a child. It impacted me, I'm sure it would have impacted you too, right?
Yes, absolutely. I think that because I grew up in the South, where men who looked like me were expected to play sports.
Absolutely.
And all my cousins all were football, basketball players. I was like, I don't really know where I actually fit in and how I navigate this, and I never felt comfortable because my dad was a basketball coach. So when I played Lola and Kinky Boots,
that's a real story for you.
Yeah, it was a real story for me because I was expected to be playing sports. But I felt like I had the most, I was the most embraced the first time I ever took a dance class. I was the only boy, the only person of color in the room, and for some reason I felt more at home there than I had ever felt when I was on stage. Can y'all see me over there? I think I need to open myself up.
Should we open up? Can everyone see on the sides? Give us a wave. Real good? Okay, good. All right, so I believe you were only 20 years old when you made your Broadway debut in The Color Purple.
You've done your research.
Oh, honey.
She's ready.
She is ready. So you were 20 years old when you made your Broadway debut in The Color Purple. Talk to us through that whole experience and how it shaped you at such a young age.
Well, again, I don't want this to get too deep, but like when I was growing up, I only saw a lot of representation of people who looked like me in rap videos, and I would look at Usher and Neo and whoever was popular at that time and say, that doesn't look like me and what I want to do. And so I had a lot of identity crisis because the diversity wasn't as big of a thing as it is now. At that time, of course, I would audition for things, and I was having to learn at a very young age that there weren't a lot of roles for people who looked like me. I would audition for Peter Pan, the ballet, and was like, why didn't I get this role? And it never dawned on me that, like, Todrick, you do not look like this, you could be Wendy's brother. And so, when I went to go see The Color Purple, I auditioned, got the call back, and saw the show that night. And I had just never seen so many gorgeous black women and men performing as only black people could, singing gospel music, telling a story in a way that felt really true and authentic to what it would feel like to go to a church in the South. And I remember thinking vividly at that moment when I walked out, I must be in this show. This changed my life, and I have never been more proud than in this very moment to be an African American.
Amen.
Yeah.
I also feel like yes. I also feel like you did the Memphis original production, and there is an actual like DVD version on YouTube. I remember being a kid watching it, and you are giving it all in the front. And I just feel like it's so great that in your career you've been a part of that change and that cultural shift in theatre where we're telling stories that relate to our own experiences, and of course being an African American, your experiences too.
Yeah, I mean, being in Memphis was really true to home. I'd done a lot of shows that talked about race, from The Color Purple to Hairspray to Memphis, but being in that show was really tremendous because it was like with the entire original cast. We got to perform at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade and like iconic things that I had been watching my entire career. And I love that I started in the ensemble of 2 Broadway shows before I made my way up. I always covered lead roles, but I was just, I realized that the hardest working people in the industry are the ensembles of Broadway.
Give it up for our swings, our ensembles, covers, alternates, standbys. Honestly, they are the backbone of this career, and without them, the industry is nothing. So
Yeah, it's insane, and to be able to go see shows and not understand that the people that are killing themselves in the background also have to be able to step into the shoes of the lead characters and sing those vocals as well, and go to rehearsals every single week and put-ins, and it was just a very, very eye-opening experience because it was my first Broadway show, and doing Memphis was my first time going on for a lead, and it helped me have such a huge appreciation for that when I became a lead, and the way that I would want to treat the people who covered me, and the way I would want to tell them things that only you would know as the performer who does it 8 shows a week. This is something you should watch out for, and so I really try to have a close relationship with my covers. And shout out to Ian Oswald, who's going on for me in Burlesque today in Manchester, so I can be here.
Yeah, I always say if you've never been in the back, how you're going to lead from the front. So
Exactly.
That's it. Right, so we're going to hop, skip, jump. You do your amazing stuff on Broadway, and then you move to LA, you're on American Idol, but then you start posting these incredible videos on YouTube. Yes. I feel like you were doing TikTok before TikTok was doing TikTok. Am I right, Musical Bar? That's on period. With over 1 billion views on YouTube and 4 studio albums. Please tell us the impact social media has for young, budding creators out there.
I think it has entirely changed the landscape of what it means to be a musical performer, which I never thought when I started YouTube that it would. In fact, everyone in Memphis was like, "You're what? You're leaving a Tony Award-winning musical to go make YouTube videos?" And I said, "Yeah, I am actually. You got it right."
And look at me now!
And look at me now. They're not a musical con. Just kidding. Yeah, it has given people the opportunity to show what you can't do. I think this is good advice for anybody out there who aspires to be on Broadway or the West End. People go look at your social media sometimes because I don't know if you're like me, but sometimes I'm like, I didn't leave it all on the floor in the audition room. There's so much more that I could do that I didn't feel like I left in the room. And I think that's one of the best things about social media is people can go to your page and see what you're capable of outside of the 16 bars of sides they gave you. I mean, you can only prove so much in the room. So I would keep that in mind as you are navigating the world of social media. Remember that at your auditions, people are going to easily go and look you up. And the videos that you post or don't post could be the difference between you getting the job.
Absolutely. I think that's such good advice. It's also good to be careful when you post on social media because it's imprinted and it's there forever. So,
Amen.
Such good advice, Charles.
Yes.
Okay, talking about being a creative, let's talk about Burlesque, the musical, for a second. I mean, one of my all-time favorite musical movies, and I'm sure some of you out there too. You are not just in the show, you have written and created some of the numbers in the show too.
Yes.
Please tell us what that process has been like being a creative and also being on stage performing in Burlesque.
So I got a call a couple of years ago from a director I had worked with who was attached to the project at the time and said, "I would love for you to be a part of Burlesque the musical." And they watched my visual album Straight Out of Oz, and that's how they found out that I could write.
Right, there we go.
Yeah. And anyway, so I got brought into the project, and I was obviously, I'm a gay man, so I was a fan of Burlesque the musical. I feel like that is like a prerequisite of being gay, is that you have respect for Cher and Christina Aguilera's performances in Burlesque. But I got asked to write the music, and should I tell this story that I told you?
Absolutely, yes. This is the plot.
Okay, so I was asked to clear a few months of my schedule. The script wasn't done by the time I cleared those parts of my schedule, so I went and performed on a cruise, and all of a sudden the creator of the show was like, "We need you this week." And I said, "I'm in the middle of the ocean floating around with like 10,000 gay people, and there's no way I can work on this." And so he sort of, what I like to say, Miranda Priestley'd me. Shout out to the cast of Devil Wears Prada.
Devil Wears Prada! Amen.
He Miranda Priestley'd me, and what I mean by that is you all know Devil Wears Prada in the scene where Miranda says, "Oh Andy, I need the unprinted manuscript of the new unreleased Harry Potter book, and if you don't get it, don't bother showing up to work." He sent me an email at 11:45 on a Wednesday night, and I'll never forget it. And he said,
we don't know if you are invested in this, and he gave me a task and said, I need you to write a song that is like, be our guest from Beauty and the Beast and Madonna's Vogue, put into one. He gave me 15 pages of burlesque history and said, I need this by end of day on Friday, otherwise we might have to reevaluate you being in the show, a part of the show. And I said, oh my gosh, I called my mom, who's an icon, and I said, Mom, I think I should just quit this show. I kind of feel like they don't want me to be here. She said, you can quit the show, but you're gonna write that song first, okay?
And then,
You're never gonna let them feel like you couldn't rise to the occasion. So I was defeated, but I went into the studio and I wrote the song and I said, you know what, I'm gonna do it one better. Every single chorus of this song is going to spell out the words burlesque. The start of every sentence will be B-U-R-L-E-S-Q-U-E. And I wrote the song, I sent them the song because I was only a composer at that time. And they called me back and said, A, you're in for sure, okay? You're rehired. And secondly, would you mind playing Sean in the world premiere of Burlesque the Musical? So I got a job out of it, and now I'm starring as Sean in Burlesque the Musical because of this song. Big.
All right, I'm talking of such song. Musical part, do you want to hear Big from Burlesque the Musical? You're gonna have to be louder than that. Do you want to hear Big from Burlesque the Musical? All right, sing it big. It's Todrick.
Listen here, Mr. Know-It-All, take a seat and grab a beer. We don't do too well with small-town mentality down here. Because let's be honest, who wants to be modest? Being clothed is the last year. So let me interject, show some respect for the divas and the positive. Burlesque is big, unapologetic, ready, come to get it. Look, you won't regret it, it's a gig. Easy on the eyes, sexy for the guys, guys and otherwise, get a wig. Cause under every leather, everything is leather, laces even better, grab a swig. We're the best of the best is, pop quiz, that's what burlesque is. Let me take you way, way back to the late 1860s. Oh, some women got together and said, I've been thinking we should wear less clothes. They were rebels, but they knew how to bevel and level up with comic variety shows. And by the 1920s, you paid a pretty penny to see these feminist heroes. Burlesque was big. Yes, we'll actually compel you, even a cappella, teasing all the fellas till they pop fizz. That's what burlesque is. The girls keep undressing. For your worst first impression, here's your history burlesque. Close the bear, I'm about to share some helpful anecdotes. You ain't nobody girl, so body girl, I hope you're taking notes. Strike the pose, strike up the band, think Sally Bowles, Sally Rand, they broke the mold, disturbed the peace. Josephine Baker, Dita Von Teese, Black Excellence, they raised the bar with Gina Dale and Pearl Noir. Sophie Tucker, Pinky Lee, Penny Bryce, Violet Chachki, Burlesque inspired, Bogan Balls, Chippendales, Pussycat Dolls, Danny Kaye, so tongue-in-cheek, and now Burlesque is hella chic. Iconic queens, embrace the era, Cher and Christina Aguilera, Vaudeville made burlesque streets, from the Crazy Horse to the Moulin Rouge, it's big. The Jordan horses, yeah, ready for the horses. Big, even when we're bluffing, still huffing and puffing. Quench the thirst before you pull the trigger. Unveil the prima donna, heating up the drama, heating like a sauna. It's all hot biz, that's what burlesque is. Ladies, you still have to get it. Can you help me out? And if you don't know musical mind, now you know. You wanna see the beat, you got a front row seat. And when the audience wants a reveal, that's when we hit them with a high heel. Stretch yourself, showtime, showtime. Welcome, you better front it, baby. Get into it, this girl, how sexy. All the boys above, baby. Too much, not too little, just enough. You know they came to see the ladies in stilettos. You know the boys, pimps, bass, and you know stilettos.
musical. We are definitely excited about the LS musical now. Make some more noise! Okay, so, Todrick, me and you have quite a lot of things in common, okay? I'm gonna talk.
I can tell just by the outfit alone.
Just by the shoe cam.
Yes, darling.
So, firstly, we both are hugely inspired, ride or dies, beehives, to the day and to the end.
Amen.
We have both played Donkey in Shrek the Musical.
Donkey?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Donkey. Yes. And of course, we are both black and proud queer siblings.
Wait, you're black?
You're gay?
What?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I have to leave. I didn't know this. I didn't know this.
Yes, believe it or not. But the question is, what advice would you give to anyone out there who feels like they don't belong for being themselves?
Who feels like they what?
That they don't belong for being themselves.
Oh, I would just say times they are changing. I think one of my favorite lines from Hamilton is look around and how lucky we are to be alive right now. And when I think about the world and how much it has changed and how much it is, we have all been impacted by decisions that our ancestors made unbeknownst to us. We have been given a deck of cards that sometimes feels like it's unfavorable, that we are having to work through and we are having to organize. And I think even though our culture and our species is divided right now, I think that we are working as hard as we possibly could to veer humanity in the right direction. And as much as it doesn't feel like it does, theater and entertainment has a huge impact on how we see beauty, how we hear stories, how we perceive stories, how we infuse the things that we imagine on stage into our own lives. And I think that now is the time more than ever, because 20 years ago, even 5 years ago, we might have been having a very different conversation. But now, nothing is off limits. You go see shows, there's so much representation for queer people, trans people, non-binary people, people who are disabled, people who have hearing impairments. I think that everybody has woken up and tried to make theater a safe playground for everybody, no matter where they come from, what they look like, what they believe in. And I think if there's anybody out there who is considering writing a musical or creating art, that now is the time to do it, because we are ready to receive everything.
Absolutely. Make some noise for that musical part. All right, so I think we have time for some fan questions out there. Who has some questions for Todrick?
Oh,
I see you do. Yes. What's your question? Do you have a question for Todrick? No? All right, that's fine.
There's a gorgeous lady right here.
Oh, okay. I'm going to kind of do some legwork. What's your question for Todrick, my love? Oh, she's walking over. Thank you, because my hearing.
If you have a question, maybe try to make your way up as close as you can. So.
Yes, what is your question?
I've been watching your stuff since Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, thank you.
I love it. I wanted to know what's the favourite thing that you've ever created. I know my favourite of yours is Cinderella.
Cinderella is my favorite. Thank
What's
you.
yours?
My favorite thing that I've ever created is probably Straight Out of Oz. I'm a big Wizard of Oz fan. Thank you. I'm so ready for this wicked movie, I can't even breathe. But I think that the song Color, the first time I ever fell in love with was with a guy named Gareth Evans, who's a British guy. I'd never met someone named Gareth. I'd never met someone British before. I fell in love with him and I wrote a song called Color about him. And I think that's probably one of my favorite things I've ever created, because it just came from such a unique and raw place in my heart. And thank you for supporting me since Beauty and the Beast. That's so sweet. I appreciate it.
Love you. All right, any more for any more? Oh, right down the front. Yes, my love. Ooh.
She said, when burlesque comes to the West End,
will you
will I be
starting?
starting? We don't know when it's going to come to the West End. It hasn't been finalized, and I'm not sure if I'll be there, because who knows what the world... I'm actually writing my own musical. I don't know if I said this or not. I'm writing my first...
A musical con exclusive.
This just in. I'm writing my first Broadway West End bound musical, and I'm so in love with it. It's like the closest thing I'll ever get to birthing my own child. and I'm planning on doing a workshop. I just had an audition here, or doing the workshop here in January, February. So I will be posting it on social media. Hopefully there will be a way for some of you to come and see it and buy tickets. But I think that's the next thing I'll be doing in the UK, and I'm really, really beyond thrilled. And you really want to be there because it's a special, special show.
Well, not to plug yourself, but Todrick, if you need a mini you, just let a girl know. All right, next, any more? Questions?
We have somebody waving frantically back there. Waving,
all right.
Waving.
Firstly, hello, darling.
I love you back. How are you?
My friend here, a massive fan. So we love drag. And my question to you is, how do you get into drag, and also how does that have a crossover into musical theatre? And I'm a massive fan of Kinky Boots, and I know you did that, so how does that cross over into
First of all, thank you. You look fabulous. I love your makeup and I love all your pants and your jewelry. Okay. He said the question was, how does drag cross over into the world of musical theater, and how do I prepare for drag? I was, like a lot of people, very afraid of being in drag. I had a partner that I was dating at the time, and I started dabbling with drag on YouTube, and I was terrified. I was like, my boyfriend can never be in the room when I'm doing something drag. And then I got to a place where I realized Wayne Brady did an interview, and he said, I've never felt more of a man than when I got into drag, because you realize how hard female presenting human beings have to deal with their life and navigate every day. Wearing nails, hair, hips, and heels is not easy at all, okay? So I think that it really helped me expand and helped me feel, Kinky Boots helped me feel comfortable. As you notice, after 2016, I did a lot of videos in drag and created a lot of art in drag because it helped me really embrace a part of me. I don't know a queer man who hasn't pretended that they were Britney Spears or Madonna or Kylie or Beyonce in their shower. There's like 9 kids right there. I don't know if we have time for one more question, but they're all raising their hands. So maybe one of them can ask the question for everyone. But it helped me really embrace, like, I felt like I was only working with like half of who I was, and now I feel like I work with the entire like 360 human being that is Todrick because I discovered drag.
It's beautiful. All right, we've got some gorgeous little fans over here. Hi! What are your names and what's your question?
My name is Blair. I'm Amelia.
Hello, Amelia. What is your question?
What is your favourite experience?
Oh, what is your favorite experience?
My favorite experience ever, or in theater?
Ever or in the UK? Ever.
Okay, I'm gonna make this a musical theater experience. I grew up very poor, and I was auditioning for my first national tour, and I got to go to New York, but I had no money, and Wicked had just come out, and I was losing my mind, and I wanted to go see it so bad, but it was sold out, and I played the lottery, and I won the lottery. I jumped on the guy who pulled my name out, like literally jumped on him like a koala bear, and I got to sit front row and watch Shoshana Bean and Megan Hilty and Wicked, and it changed my life. Core memory unlocked. That was one of my favorite moments. And y'all are adorable.
Hey! All right, I think we have time for one more.
She's standing up. She wants it.
All right, here we go.
Hello, you're a fabulous bitch, by the way.
Thank you.
And incredibly talented. Like, you're so creative, it's insane. But I just wanted to ask, what's the most difficult, like, the hardest, that requires a lot of you? What's the hardest creative thing? Like producing, songwriting, out of all the stuff that you've done, what do you think is the hardest?
That's a really great question. Okay, I would say that the hardest thing for me right now, I'm gonna kind of like give a curveball answer. It's not any of those things, because I create fully, you know, I've done 750 YouTube videos on my YouTube channel, and I think that when I hear a song, I imagine what we'd be wearing, imagine what the choreography would be, all those things. I think the hardest part of my career has been navigating public perception and the court of public opinion, because we as artists, we fail. I'm a person that will take on any challenge. I think the hardest thing is surviving cancellations, surviving, Twitter or people on the internet who want desperately to tell you who you are and tear you down. You have to really have a strong mind to be able to continue to get up and perform and face audiences and face crowds and meet people. And I just want to encourage us all to remember that we are humans. By definition, we are flawed. We will make tons of mistakes. And every human who has the audacity and the courage to get on stage and bare their soul in front of millions of people, you should give them the same courtesy that you would give your cousins, your brothers, your sisters, your partners, your uncles, anybody in your family, because we all have those things as well. And I think sometimes we are creating a culture where we're getting half of an artist because people are afraid to bare their soul. Because something I could say on stage today could be cancelable in 10 years, and I would have to repay retroactively. I wanted us to get back to a culture where we allow people to have different thoughts and opinions without canceling them, and understand that there's context and nuance in every story that you hear, and realize that the media likes to exaggerate things because it's enticing. Don't give into it. Be a self-thinking human. Remember that it's a human being that is on the other side of any kind of controversy, whether it be true or not, that usually it's not black and white, it's gray. And give those people grace, allow them to evolve, allow them to take accountability and to grow as an artist. And so I thank Musical Con for having me here today. Because I get scared sometimes to go in front of a large crowd.
Well, we have one more question.
Okay.
All right, what's your name and what is your question, my love? Ava. Your biggest moment in your career from Ava.
Hi Ava, you're gorgeous.
Hi Ava, we love
I'll
you.
make this fast. My biggest moment in my career was getting a call from Beyonce to choreograph. I got to choreograph for Beyonce, and they say don't meet your idols because you'll be disappointed. And she definitely didn't disappoint. She was so sweet, so kind, so humble, so kind to everybody on set. And she really inspired me, because when I'm having a bad day, I'm like, you do not want to catch me on that day. And I'm like, if Beyonce can be kind to people on her bad days, then we can all do that.
Absolutely. Give it up for Queen Mother Beyonce. We love you. All right, lastly, I just want to say thank you for being you, Todrick. Honestly, you've inspired me to get out of bed some days with your tenacity, bravery, and all of your creativity. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for being you. You're amazing. Give it up for Todrick Hall. Right, so that perfectly leads us to the end of this segment. Singing us out with one of his haunted ballads from straight out of Oz. It is Over the Rainbow by Todrick Hall!
Little boys don't cry, little boys aren't shy. Little boys are tough, they do stuff that little girls don't try. Little boys don't dance, little boys wear pants. Little boys are bold, you've been told you don't hold little boys' hands. Dad said I don't believe in magic, but I do believe in you. And son, if you believe in Daddy, take a look at this book and believe it's true. There's somewhere, over the rainbow. And if you change the way you love, then maybe you can go. The streets are paved with bricks of gold. And if you wanna see, come play with me. 'Cause somewhere, over the rainbow, there's a man who's powerful, and he wants you to know when the rain goes, after the pain goes, they'll be dancing with halos somewhere over the rainbow. Little boys stand tall, little boys
We love you, Todrick. Thank you so much. Make some noise for Todrick! My name is Idris Cargo, and I'll see you on the next segment. See you all!